Write this down. In a scandal, you are disqualified immediately. Don't negotiate with that sentence. Don't massage it. Don't argue with it. Disqualified does not mean damned by God for eternity. It means you have forfeited in this moment the right to speak for yourself, the right to represent the vision, the right to spend the people's trust. You are disqualified. Say it under your breath and feel the weight, because until you accept that verdict, you will keep reaching for microphones you no longer have the moral right to hold. Set the timer, 72 hours, 4,320 minutes. Every tick either protects the account of trust or drains it dry. One sentence can empty the account. One post, one text, one late night I'll explain message can bankrupt what took decades to earn. Trust is the currency of leadership. Hear me. Titles are paper, trust is gold. Positions are appointments, trust is deposits. The public may still call you leader, but the bank has frozen your account. Write this down. In the first 72 hours, your future is binary. Protect the trust account under authority or forfeit your future. There is no middle. I know the fear. Loss of office, loss of income, loss of marriage, loss of ministry, loss of the company you birth. But the greatest loss is not a seat, a salary, or a stage. The greatest loss is trust. Read Proverbs. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. And you just mortgage your name. You can rebuild a business. You can get another job. You cannot demand trust back by announcement. Stop using the term trust me. No, test over time equals trust. Write that down. You must protect the little that remains, or you will have nothing to rebuild with later. Let me define the assignment. This is not PR. This is not spin. This is not a social media strategy. This is a survival protocol. I am not teaching you how to look innocent. I'm telling you how to stop the bleeding of credibility and create a pathway under authority toward restoration. Read this one for me. Go. Failure handled wisely becomes your tutor. Mishandled, your undertaker. That's the fork in the road before you now. Scripture speaks like a siren in a storm. Be sure your sin will find you out. Numbers 32-23. That is not a threat. It is a law. The wind does not ask your permission to blow. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16:18. Pride tells you to keep talking. Wisdom commands, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. James 1:19. Slow your mouth, speed your submission. Your words right now are not medicine, they are gasoline. Take a deep breath. Leaders, hear me. In these first hours, you do not need sympathy, you need structure. You do not need fans, you need fathers. You do not need a statement, you need a standard. The standard is this: protect the account of trust. When banks face a run, they close the doors to stop panic withdrawals. You must close every door your words could open. Your silence under authority is the lock. Saul taught us this lesson in the worst way. After violating divine instruction, he said to Samuel, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people. 1 Samuel 15:30. Hear the poison, honor me now. He wanted optics over obedience, platform over repentance. He was disqualified and tried to keep the show running, and the kingdom was torn from him. David, when confronted by Nathan, fell on his face and said, I have sinned against the Lord. 2 Samuel 12:13. No press tour, no spin. Submission to the voice of authority and a long road of consequence and restoration. 2 kings. 2 responses within their first hours. One lost the kingdom, one kept the covenant. Write it down. Authority is the difference between theatrical apologies and credible restoration. You say, but if I don't say something, people will assume the worst. They already have. Your job is not to manage their assumptions. Your job is to protect their account. Trust is not rebuilt by your explanations. It is rebuilt by your obedience under supervision over time. The faster you talk, the longer your exile. The deeper your submission, the shorter your path. Peter denied Christ with curses. Silence and weeping were his first acts. Judas tried to self-manage his guilt. Isolation killed him. Both failed. One submitted to the voice that said, feed my sheep after a season of testing. The other submitted to despair. Within 72 hours, direction is set. So set the clock. This is a countdown of stewardship. Write this down. Your first job is not to clear your name. Your first job is to guard the account of trust. That means you voluntarily step back before you are pulled down. You agree that you are disqualified from representing the vision, and you place yourself under the hand of an authority that fears God and fears no man. We will talk about protocols, but for now, fix this in your spirit. Your mouth is no longer your representative. The authority you submit to will become your voice in due time. If you violate that, you are choosing ruin. I want to warn you about a subtle idol image. Image will whisper, one heartfelt video will fix it. No, he who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoso confesses and forsakes them shall have mercy. Proverbs 28:13. Confession without submission is performance. Forsaking without supervision is fantasy. Mercy is found in the yoke of process, not in the applause of a moment. Write it down. Mercy is not a press release. Mercy is a process under authority. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but the board loves me. The congregation is loyal. The market needs me. They love Saul too. Crowds shouted for him until the day they looked for him, and he was hiding among baggage. Don't mistake noise for trust. Trust is measured in deposits. Truth told when it hurts, tests passed when no one is watching, and timing honored when you want to rush. The 72-hour line is your first major test after the fall. Cross it with humility, and there is hope. Cross it with haste, and you will multiply your losses. Write this one down and underline it twice. Stop using the term, trust me. You cannot command a currency you have just devalued. Trust me is the language of a bankrupt spender. Replace it with, I submit. Replace it with, I am under authority. Replace it with, I will not speak outside that covering. Those sentences are deposits. Every other sentence is a withdrawal. So I am sounding the alarm. This is not about saving face. This is about saving the future. It is stark, it is sobering, and it is merciful. God's grace is not an eraser of consequences. It is an escort through them. If you will fear God, accept the verdict of disqualification, and guard the account of trust under true authority in these first 72 hours, restoration is possible and credible. If you refuse, you will spend the rest of your life paying interest on a debt your pride compounded in a single day. Choose now. Protect the account or forfeit your future. Take a breath and write this down. The foundation of leadership is character. Write it down. You can polish a gift. You can amplify a skill. You can rehearse charisma in the mirror, but without character, you are carrying water in a sieve. Gifts don't fail first. Containers crack first. Your talent is a high-pressure fluid. If the container is thin, proud, or unsealed, it leaks. That is why people can sing the heavens down on Sunday and drown in their appetites on Monday. The gift is not the problem. The gasket is. Read this one for me. Go. Talent puts you on platforms. Only character keeps you there and repairs the platform when it breaks. Let me give you the picture. Character is the container, the sealed vessel that holds the weight of your visibility. The more influence you carry, the more PSI on your soul. Every camera you love is pressure. Every applause you crave is pressure. Every deal you sign is pressure. Without a container designed by conviction and cured by discipline, you will explode on the people who trusted you. Write this down. Uncontained gifts become public hazards. The Holy Scriptures warn, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. The heart is the container, not your microphone, not your resume, not your followers, your heart. Now let me put the container under 3 tests. They are ancient and they do not change. Appetites, fame, power. Write them in big letters. First, appetites, food, drink, and sex. These are good servants, but savage masters. Esau lost an inheritance over a bowl of stew. Samson lost vision in Delilah's lap. Some of you think you are too anointed to be hungry. Read this after me. Hunger makes honest men hurry. Fasting is not a diet. It is a container repair shop. If you cannot say no to your stomach and your loins, your calendar will soon be filled with lawyers. Let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. Second, fame, the intoxication of being seen, named, tagged. Fame is a fog that makes you miss the edge of the cliff. When your dopamine becomes your direction, you are already disoriented. Jesus said, when you give, do not sound a trumpet. He was protecting your container from the loud applause that punctures humility. Let another praise you, not your own mouth. Kill the need to announce yourself, and you protect the seal. Third, power, the right to decide, budget, hire, and fire. Power is not evil. It is a mirror. It shows you to you. When you can punish without consequence and you choose mercy, that is character. When you can indulge without witnesses and you choose restraint, that is character. Scripture says, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Power is the place where pride pretends to be purpose. Don't confuse outcome with obedience. Saul kept the kingship robes while the anointing had departed. Hear me. God can fire you and people still think you're hired. Write that down and fear it. Which brings me to the architecture under the container. Law, values, morals, conscience. This is the scaffolding that holds the seal in storms. Law identifies the value. When a people write do not steal, it means they value property and trust. When you embrace the law of God, you adopt the values of heaven. Values produce morals, the behaviors you choose consistently. Morals train your conscience, that inner law that whispers when the crowd shouts. Law is the law shouting at you. Conscience is the law whispering inside you. If you don't like your conscience, check your morals. If your morals shift, check your values. If your values are muddy, check what law you have enthroned. As it is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fear God, not headlines. Anchor your behavior beyond emotions and crowds. Stop trusting yourself. Write it down. Don't ever trust yourself. The heart is deceitful above all things. Your heart will justify anything you want badly enough. That is why you never appoint your feelings as your counselor. You appoint law, values, morals, conscience in that order, and you submit that stack under real authority. We will talk about authority in the next movements. But here the foundation now. A self-supervised leader is already on probation. If you choose your own ceiling, you also choose your own trapdoor. Let me give you a story. It's fictional, but you've met him in the mirror. A young worship director, let's call him Aaron, had a voice that could melt a city. He fast-tracked to stages, lights, albums. But Aaron's container was patched with tape called I'll Be Fine, late night messages. Private hotel dinners, a little wine to soften stress. He told his fiance, trust me. Don't ever say that. Stop using the term trust me. Trust is not claimed. It is earned by tests over time. Aaron's gift-filled rooms. His character leaked in back corridors. When the scandal broke, he kept singing louder as if volume could mop the floor. It couldn't. His talent drew a crowd to the spill. His character, when it finally submitted to law and authority, became the mop, the sealant, the slow cure. Write it down. Only character repairs what character broke. Gifts cannot be the emergency crew. Gifts are the scene of the accident. Some of you are building ministries, companies, families with rocket fuel gifts and paper-thin character. You're fast, but you're flammable. Slow down and seal the vessel. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. That is not a poet's line. It is a leader's repair order. Pray it, then practice it. Practice means boundaries. Boundaries are not for the weak, they're for the wise. When you say no to the second plate, you are training for the day you must say no to the second person. When you refuse to Google your name, you are rehearsing invisibility so that fame cannot make you forget God. When you choose to be corrected publicly by a true authority, you are draining pride before it swells your head. Write this final line large enough to bruise your ego. Your platform is held up by beams called trust. Talent builds the stage quickly. Character inspects the beams daily. When a beam snaps, do not dance harder. Stop the music. Clear the room. Repair the structure under authority. That is why I repeat, read it with me, go. Talent puts you on platforms. Only character keeps you there and repairs the platform when it breaks. If you fear God more than you fear being forgotten, you will last. If you build according to law, values, morals, conscience, you will not need to beg people to believe you. They will make the deposits for you, because trust is the currency of leadership and character is the vault. Guard the vault. Protect the account. And remember, you can be applauded by men for a season and abandoned by God in a second. Choose the fear of the Lord now, and your container will not only carry the oil, it will survive the heat. Trust is the currency of leadership. Write it down. Not applause, not followers, not revenue. Trust. That is the medium of exchange that buys you permission to lead human souls and steward vision. Every day before the scandal, you were making deposits, little ones, consistent ones, keeping your word when it hurt, telling the truth when it cost, honoring boundaries when no one was watching. That's the economy. Test over time equals trust. Read this with me, go. Test over time equals trust. Now hear me, at 0 hour, the market panics. A scandal is a bank run. People line up at the window of your reputation to pull out what they fear you will waste. If you don't shut the doors and secure the vault under authority, the account will hit 0 by morning. Better is a poor man who walks in integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. Proverbs 28:6. God is telling you the exchange rate. Integrity is the stable currency. Image is volatile stock. You can be rich in gifts and bankrupt in credibility. You can be trending worldwide and overdrawn in the only account that matters. Write this down. Your number one goal in crisis is singular: protect the account of trust. Not explain, not defend, not gather sympathy. Protect the account. What does a deposit look like in this moment? Silence under authority is a deposit. Immediate step back is a deposit. Returning everything you borrow from the people, the pulpit, the microphone, the password, the platform is a deposit. Allowing a true authority to secure the facts and speak for you is a major deposit. Every other impulse, texting explanations, DMing clarifications, hinting at the full story, uploading a teary video at midnight, those are withdrawals. And withdrawals at 0 hour compound interest. Read this one for me, go. What took 50 years to build can be lost in 50 seconds. If you believe that, your fingers will freeze over the keyboard. Your tongue will find James 1:19. Swift to hear, slow to speak. Your heart will bow. Stop using the term trust me. Write it down in red. Cross it out. Bury it. Trust me is the language of a bankrupt spender at the teller window after the decline notice. In this economy, you don't request currency, you earn deposits. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. Proverbs 27:2. In crisis, let an authority commend you when you are ready. Do not advertise yourself. Replace trust me with I submit. Replace it with I am under authority and will say nothing without their counsel. Replace it with I will not lead until those over me say I am. Ready? Those sentences are deposits. Every other sentence is a drain. At 0 hour, adopt a protective mindset. Every action either protects or plunders the account. There is no neutral. Write it down. Picking up a call you shouldn't. Withdrawal, deleting messages to clean up. Withdrawal with fraud fees. Handing your phone to the authority unedited. Deposit. Sending a group chat to explain your heart. Withdrawal. Letting the authority send a single verified statement. Deposit. Even your face can spend trust. Appearing in a pulpit, on a panel, on a live stream too soon is a massive withdrawal. Waiting quietly in the back row, taking correction, showing up to counseling, making restitution, steady deposits. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Not famous, faithful. Not forceful, faithful. Faithful is the word the bank recognizes. Let me paint you a parable. Myra built a humanitarian organization for 27 years. She slept on airport floors, knocked on embassy doors, and turned every success back to the mission, deposits. Then a message thread surfaced, flirtations with a supplier, blurred boundaries, compromise. The board woke to a media storm. 2 versions of Myra appeared at 0 hour. In one timeline, she went live, "I'm only human. My heart is pure. Trust me." Donors froze. Staff resigned. Partners severed. The bank run became a collapse. In the other timeline, she texted one sentence to the chair, "I submit." She handed over devices, stepped down immediately, said nothing publicly, allowed an external audit, faced a grim report, made restitution, and remained silent while her authority explained the process, not her virtue. Was she restored to the stage in a week? No. But the account did not hit 0. The vault closed. The currency stabilized. Donors said, "We will watch the process." Years later, under the same authority, after tests and time, trust returned brick by brick to Myra's. One scandal. The difference? Protection of the account at 0 hour. Jesus taught, "He who is faithful in very little is faithful also in much." Luke 16:10. The little right now is your mouth, your minutes, your movements. Steward the little for the sake of the much. And hear this law. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. If the account of trust is your treasure, your heart will run to guard it, not to parade it. The borrower is servant to the lender. Proverbs 22:7. You borrowed trust from people for years. Today, you are a servant to that debt. You will not pay it back with charm. You will pay it back with time, tests, and truth under someone else's key. Write this down and circle it. In a scandal, your words are either scaffolding or a wrecking ball. Choose scaffolding by choosing silence, supervised by authority. Choose wrecking by choosing self-management. And please hear the mercy inside this sternness. God gives grace to the humble. He resists the proud. James 4:6. Humility in this economy looks like closing your own branch and handing the keys to a trusted regulator. Pride keeps the lights on and pretends all is well until the sheriff changes the doors. So at 0 hour, make the trade. Trade speed for sobriety. Trade access for accountability. Trade being seen for being governed. Whisper to your soul, protect the account. Tape it on your mirror. Put it on your lock screen. When your chest tightens and your fingers itch to type, read this one for me. Go. Protect the account of trust. Then obey. God can rebuild a platform, but he will not subsidize arrogance. If you fear him, accept disqualification, and guard the account now, the currency can recover. If you squander it, you will spend the rest of your life fundraising credibility with no investors left. Guard the account at 0 hour. Everything else can wait. Hour 0 to 6 is a furnace. Do not trust your instincts. They are drunk. Write this down. 2 commands will save your future. Shut your mouth and run for cover. Read that one for me. Go. Shut your mouth, run for cover. If you obey these 2, you make the first major deposit back into the account of trust. If you break them, you sign a withdrawal slip you cannot afford. Shut your mouth. I mean it. No interviews, no tweets, no text, no context, no let me clarify, no late night voice notes, no group chat explanations, no I'm okay guys. Silence is stewardship. In a scandal, words are gasoline, not water. In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. Proverbs 10:19. Ecclesiastes says there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Ecclesiastes 3-7. This is the time to keep silence. James wrote, be swift to hear, slow to speak. James 1:19. speed your ears, slow your tongue, chain your fingers. Why? Because trust is the currency of leadership, and in the first 6 hours, silence is a deposit. Explanation is a drain. Let me help you feel the world you live in. Assume every device, every room, every ride is recorded, off the record, is on the record. A whisper to a safe friend travels faster than a press release. Screenshots are forever. Forward buttons are free. That car you think is a sanctuary is a glass box with ears. That coffee shop is a courtroom with public stenographers at every table. Write this down. Secrecy is fantasy. Prudence is wisdom. Say nothing to anyone without your authority's direction. Not because you are hiding the truth, but because you are protecting the account from 1,000 untrue additions. Even the truth told by you right now will sound like self-defense. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. Proverbs 27:2. Let another explain you and not your own lips. Run for cover. Step down from public function immediately. Not tomorrow, now. Return the microphone. Cancel the live stream. Get off the stage. Stop chairing the meeting. Suspend your signature authority. Log out of admin panels. Hand keys, passwords, and cards to the appropriate custodian. Send one sentence to your board chair or senior leader. I am stepping back immediately and I submit to your direction. That is a deposit. Appearing strong is a withdrawal. Staying visible is a withdrawal. Protect the account. When banks face a run, they close the doors. You must close yours. This is not cowardice. This is governance. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Proverbs 18:10. Your first run is vertical to God, and your second run is horizontal under human authority who fears God and fears no man. That is cover. Secure counsel. Notify your pre-identified authority and your legal counsel. Hear me, pre-identified. If you are scrolling your phone for a good person now, you are already late. Call them. Send the location. Give them the house code. Do not script your own defense. Do not ask them to bless your statement. Ask them to take your phone, review communications, and set the next steps. Legal counsel is not your weapon, it is your wisdom. Authority is not your PR, it is your governor. Allow both to tell you no. Write this down. You cannot bring yourself back. The authority has to bring you back. Your instinct will say, let me just say this one thing. No, hand the pen away. Let me make this painfully practical. Delete nothing. Destroy nothing. Don't move files to alternate clouds. Don't suddenly repair timelines. That is fraud fees on top of bankruptcy. If asked a question by the authority or counsel, answer truthfully and completely. If asked by anyone else, say, I am under authority and will not speak outside their counsel. That sentence is a deposit. Every other sentence is a drain. Do not call the accuser. Do not DM to make peace. Do not send money to help them in this difficult time. Those actions outside of authority's direction are tampering, not tenderness. Protect the account. Now posture yourself privately before God, not at a pulpit, on a floor. Have mercy upon me, O God, against thee only have I sinned. Psalm 51:1-4. No excuse. No, if I hurt you. No, I was tired. Say what David said, I have sinned. Grief, not strategy. Tears, not talking points. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Be still until your heart remembers you are not. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of God that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. Due time is not hour 2. Due time is not your timetable. This is the hour to fall on your face and let God weigh your soul while men weigh your actions. Read this one before we go. In the first 6 hours, silence and withdrawal are not weakness. They are worship and wisdom. They are deposits. When you zip your mouth, you say to God, your law, not my logic. When you step down voluntarily, you say to people, your trust matters more than my title. Write it down. Every quiet minute under authority is a little brick laid back into the bridge you burned. But every sentence you send without covering is a stick of dynamite under what remains. I'll give you a parable you won't forget. A young executive called him Leon woke to headlines and allegations before dawn. In one world, he typed for 3 hours straight explanations, screenshots, receipts, calls to make it right. By noon, the story had tripled. His explanations contradicted one another. Lawyers advised silence, but pride had already purchased a press tour. The bridge collapsed. In the other world, Leon sent 3 words at 5:12 a.m. to his authority: I submit, help. By 6 a.m., he was off every platform, devices in a sealed envelope, asleep on the floor with Psalm 51 open. His authority sent a single sentence to stakeholders: he has stepped back and submitted to a process. That was it. The market panicked, and then, seeing the cover, steadied. Months became years. Test, time, truth, deposits, same man, same sin, 2 hours, 0 choices, 2 futures. Let me press this deeper. Replace trust me with cover me. Replace, let me explain with I will not speak without counsel. Replace, I'm still leading with I have stepped down. Speak these to your own soul. Tape them on your mirror. Send them to the 2 people who can tell you no. Protect the account. If you fear God, you will fear your own mouth. If you love people, you will lay down your platform to save their deposits from your withdrawals. Some of you think, if I say nothing, won't that look guilty? You are already guilty of poor stewardship. This is not optics, this is obedience. Whoso confesseth and forsaketh shall have mercy, Proverbs 28-13. Confession belongs before God and under authority right now, not before cameras. Forsaking is leaving the stage, not your conscience. Mercy comes to the bowed, not the broadcast. So here is your 6-hour checklist. Write it down. Like a soldier receives orders: 1, power down and put devices in a drawer until your authority arrives. Send 1 sentence to authority and counsel: I submit. 3, step down immediately from all roles. No appearances, no decisions, no signatures. 4, say nothing publicly. Nothing. Fall on your face before God with Psalm 51 and Luke 18:13. God be merciful to me, a sinner. 6, wait. Do not move until covered steps are given. Read it again. Go. These are not suggestions. They are survival. Protect the account. That is your only job from hour 0 to 6. Shut your mouth. Run for cover. You are disqualified from speaking for yourself. Let God see your tears. Let authority govern your steps. The first deposit is silence. The second is withdrawal. This is how you stop the bleeding. This is how you prevent the collapse. This is how you make room for a future that fear of God can still write. Hour 6 to 24 is the hinge. The first 6, you shut your mouth and ran for cover. Now you must find the door that swings your future from denial to restoration, and that door's handle is in someone else's hand. Write this down. Identify a true and reliable authority and submit completely. Not cosmetically, not performatively. Completely obey those who have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. Hebrews 13:17. God is not asking you to find fans. He is ordering you to find a guard. This is where the proud die and the humble live. Let me give you a checklist. Read this one for me. Go. True authority fears God, is not impressed by you, is not financially dependent on you, and has a track record of restoring people well. Write it down slowly. Number 1, fears God. If they do not tremble before the Holy One, they will tremble before headlines, donors, and your tears. You need someone who values truth over optics, process over pressure, your soul over your salary. Number 2, not impressed by you. Choose someone who remembers when you had no title and will call you brother when others call you sir. Flattery is a crack in the vault. It leaks. Number 3, no financial dependency. Anyone who eats from your hand cannot hold your throat when you are choking. Find authority who can lose you and sleep at night because their daily bread does not come from your platform. Number 4, restoration track record, not rumor, not theory. Look for fruit people who fell and were brought back with credibility because someone held them long enough to heal and hard enough to change. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Safety comes from proven counsel, not convenient friendship. Now, total submission. I know you don't like that phrase. Your ego's allergic to it. Swallow it anyway. Write this down. You cannot bring yourself back. The authority has to bring you back. Say it under your breath until your soul surrenders. Peter did not restore Peter. Jesus restored Peter. David did not acquit David. Nathan confronted and guided David. You will be tempted to curate your own comeback. Don't. That's self-management with scripture stickers. Submission is not agreeing with advice you already like. Submission is obeying counsel you would never choose because you value your soul more than your image. Here is what submission looks like in a bank run. Transfer control. Hand over keys, calendars, platforms, passwords, and public messaging to the authority. All of it. Don't leave a secret set of keys under the mat of your pride. The vault is not safe if you still have the code. Give them your phone and the passcode. Give them access to your email and your social media. Give them your speaking calendar, your travel plans, your media contacts. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Psalm 24:1. For this season, your platforms are the Lord's through his appointed guard. If that sentence makes you twitch, you are not ready for restoration. Read this after me. Protect the account. This is how you protect it, by letting the regulator lock the doors. Relational boundaries are next, and they will feel cruel to your loneliness. They are mercy in disguise. No contact with accusers. None. No contact with victims. None. No contact with staff, donors, or media. None. All communication flows through authority. Do not text just to check in. Do not DM to clear the air. Do not call to apologize unless the authority approves, scripts, and supervises it. Submit yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Ephesians 5:21. Your private reach outs are public withdrawals. They look like care. They spend like control. Authority-led communication is a deposit because it tells the watching world there is a grown-up at the wheel and a process at work. Then timing, surrender. This one will save you from your calendar demons. You do not set your return date. You do not pace your own process. You do not make promises like see you in the fall. Write it down. Allow the authority to determine readiness, pace, and any future return. No self-appointed timelines. Don't put God on your Google calendar. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5-6. Whose hand? His. Whose time? His. Your job is not to get back fast. Your job is to go deep enough that if you return, you do not repeat. Authority will tell you when your words help and when your silence heals. Your obedience becomes your defense. Your patience becomes your proof. Let me give you 2 portraits in these same 18 hours. Case 1, a CEO will call Daniel. He selected as his overseer a consultant on his payroll who called him visionary in every meeting. Daniel kept a secondary phone for family only, issued a personal reflection letter to donors, and promised to be back after a short sabbatical. The market read it as theater. Staff leaked, donors froze, the account bled. Case 2, a pastor named Leora. At hour 8, she texted one line to a retired bishop who had corrected her before. I submit to you without condition. He met with the board, took her keys and devices, issued a single statement. She is under authority. We will speak when facts are verified, and set a moratorium on all direct contact. Months later, the bishop, not Leora, reported she has completed phase 1, confession, restitution, counseling. She remained silent at our direction. Congregation members did not clap. They exhaled. Why? The account was protected. The hinge swung toward restoration. Some of you are thinking, but what if the authority abuses power? Good question. That is why you choose one who fears God, who is not impressed by you, who has nothing to gain by flattering you, and who has restored others without exploiting them. Wisdom is not gullible, but hear me, fear of abuse is not an excuse for self-rule. Ask for 2 or 3 overseers if appropriate. Put agreements in writing, then submit. By wise counsel, wage your war. Proverbs 24:6. You are in a war for the future of your credibility. You do not win it with instincts, you win it with governance. Practically, before this day ends, make 4 moves. 1, identify the authority, call them not to explain, but to ask for covering. 2, sign a written submission protocol, access, boundaries, reporting, counseling, finances, and a non-negotiable silence clause. 3, transfer control, physical keys, digital keys, public voice. 4, inform your inner circle that all communication goes through authority, and then go quiet. Do not leak your plan to gain sympathy. Do not shop for a softer overseer. Do not time your repentance to the news cycle. Read this one for me, go. Submission to a true and reliable authority is the hinge that can swing your future from denial to restoration. Remember, trust is the currency of leadership. And right now, the exchange rate is brutal. Every act of self-protection devalues you. Every act of submission under credible authority stabilizes you. God gives grace to the humble. He resists the proud. Grace in this hour wears a name and carries a clipboard. Find that person. Hand them the keys. Close your mouth. Obey without delay. Protect the account. If there is a road back, and there can be, it begins here between hour 6 and hour 24, under a hand that fears God and fears no man. Hour 24 to 36 is the truth window. The adrenaline is tapering. The noise outside is loud, but the voice you must fear is the one inside that whispers, just tell enough, kill that voice. Write this down. Tell it all, tell it once, and tell it under authority. Read it with me. Go. Tell it all, tell it once, and tell it under authority. This is not the hour for poetry. It is the hour for a deposition. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts. Psalm 51:6. God is not asking for your spin. He is demanding your truth. Your authority is not a therapist for your feelings right now. They are the steward of your future credibility. Give them the whole truth. What does whole mean? Facts without frosting, timelines without gaps, names without nicknames, patterns without excuses. You will sit under authority and you will lay out a complete, unedited confession. Start at the beginning and walk all the way to today. Dates, times, places, who was there, who knew, what you said, what you did, what you took, what you promised, what you deleted, what you paid, what you hid. If your memory feels foggy, you will use your records to clear it. Do not say, I think. Find, I know. Write this down. Ambiguity is a leak. Precision is a seal. Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. John 8:32. Freedom does not come from vague admissions. It comes from precise confession. Now build the evidence folder. Open the vault and bring everything: devices, backups, hard drives, cloud accounts, secondary phones, secret email addresses, Finsta profiles, messaging apps, deleted photos, location histories, ride share receipts, hotel folios, bank statements, cash app logs, expense reports, travel itineraries, calendar invites, boarding passes, gift receipts, burner numbers, everything. Nothing renamed, nothing relocated, nothing reformatted, nothing accidentally lost in a lake. Hear me. Surprises destroy trust. Write it down in red. Read this one for me. Go. Surprises destroy trust. That is why you must expose them now to your authority so they do not explode later in public. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Luke 12:2. Better the light of a conference room than the glare of a camera. You will also document the system that carried your sin. Do not only confess events, confess infrastructure. When did you tend to fail? after travel, late nights, which places, which companions, which apps, which moods, identify enablers and vulnerabilities. Who had access? Who covered for you? Who warned you? Map the pipeline from temptation to transaction. This is not morbid archaeology. This is engineering. If you do not name the pattern, you will meet it again. Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that you may be healed. James 5:16. Notice, confession precedes healing. Healing requires specificity. Your authority may bring in a forensic auditor, an IT specialist, or an outside investigator. Say yes. Cooperate fully. Sign releases. Provide passwords. Sit for interviews. Do not curate their sample. Do not suggest representative threads. Do not ask for contextual framing. That is spin. Write this down. Spin is theft from the trust account. Every adjective you add to protect yourself is a withdrawal. Every raw artifact you surrender is a deposit. Hand over the artifacts. Now we move to containment. Total truth told once under authority contains the fallout and prevents 1,000 small detonations. Read that with me. Go. Total truth told once under authority contains the fallout and prevents 1,000 small detonations. Your authority will map the exposure radius, family, staff, board, partners, congregation, donors, clients, and yes, the press. They will draw circles on the table and write names. Who is directly affected? Who is indirectly affected? Who needs immediate notice for legal, ethical, or safety reasons? Who needs to be shielded from details they do not need to carry? Authority will determine the order, the content, and the messenger for each circle. Not you. One spokesperson. One message per circle. Need to know, not voyeurism. Truth, not trauma dumping. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Safety is coordinated speech, not scattered voices. Within this containment, two policies go into effect like sirens: no contact and no spin. No contact means you do not call, text, DM, email, accidentally bump into, or check on anyone related to the matter. Accusers, victims, enablers, staff, donors, journalists, or that friend who just wants to pray. All relational bridges in the blast zone close until authority says otherwise. Why? Because your words, even meant for comfort, look like control in a crisis. No spin means you send nothing, like nothing, comment on nothing, and do not approve any statement about you. All public and private messaging goes through authority. If your fingers twitch, remember this law. Every unsanctioned syllable is a stick of dynamite under containment. He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. Proverbs 13:3. Keep your mouth, keep your life, protect the account. You say, but people will think I'm heartless if I don't apologize directly. Your apology is being prepared, timed, and supervised for maximum integrity and minimum collateral damage. An apology outside containment is not compassion, it is contamination. You say, but I want them to hear it from me. That desire is often the last gasp of control. Die to it. Write this down. Your authority must become your voice. Your obedience must become your defense. When the time is right, your confession will be communicated appropriately, but not by impulse, not by midnight video, and not by leaking my side. Read this one for me. Go. Forgiveness is not the restoration of trust. Say it again. Forgiveness is instantaneous when asked of God and genuinely offered by people. Restoration of trust is a process measured by time, tests, and governance. Don't confuse mercy with readiness. Let me give you a parable from the files. A nonprofit director called her. Sari sat in hour 25 with her authority and said, here's everything. She slid a folder across the table, devices, codes, statements, a written timeline with every city, date, and contact. She named her patterns: lonely hotel nights, unstructured travel, flattery addiction. She proposed no edits to the investigator's scope. Her authority mapped the circles. issued a narrow internal disclosure to those directly impacted, engaged outside counsel, and set a communications freeze. For 6 months, there were no explosions. Pain, yes. Tears, many. But no new headlines, no breaking leaks, no rolling revelations. Contrast her with Ken, a pastor who confessed enough, kept a private phone, and recalled a few names. He apologized widely on day 2. By day 12, 3 more stories broke, each contradicting his previous version. His congregation didn't leave because he sinned. They left because he kept surprising them. Surprises destroyed the account. Hear me with the fear of God. Be sure your sin will find you out. Numbers 32-23. Better that you find it out yourself and bring it bleeding to the altar of authority than for it to stroll into the sanctuary on Sunday. Better a single surgery than 1,000 infections. Better a sealed vault than a porous safe. Write this down. Honesty hurts once, deceit hurts daily. You cannot afford daily hurt. Protect the account. So in these 12 hours, you will do 3 things with ruthless clarity. First, confess totally under authority. Facts, timelines, receipts, names, patterns, no poetry, no padding. Second, document comprehensively devices, documents, money, movements, messages, no gaps, no guesses, no games. Third, contain strategically, map the radius, appoint one voice, enforce no contact and no spin. If you do this, you may still limp, but you will not bleed out. If you skip this, you will live under the tyranny of the next headline and the next one more thing. Lift your head for one sentence of hope under restraint. God is not shocked by truth. He is grieved by pretense. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. Psalm 51-17. Bring him that and bring your authority, everything else. Then sit down, be quiet, let the process hold you. Total truth told once under authority contains the fallout. Protect the account. Hour 36-48 is containment. The first waves have hit. Reports have been taken. Confession has been made under authority. Now you must stop the secondary explosions, the shrapnel that wounds the people closest to you. Write this down. Shielding people you love from the crossfire requires disciplined, authority-led silence. Not your version of silence. Not I'm only telling my friends. Authority-led. Read this one for me. Go. Protect the account by protecting your people from your words. Begin with a holding statement if one is necessary. And hear me, it does not come from your mouth. One paragraph. Crafted by authority, delivered by authority, not a video, not a blog, not a live. A sober, verifiable notice that states only what is needed to stabilize the market of trust without spending words. It sounds like this. X has voluntarily stepped back from all duties and submitted to an external process under our oversight. We are verifying facts, providing care for all affected, and will communicate through this office at appropriate times. Please direct all inquiries here. That is it. No adjectives, no defense, no prophecy about the future. Silence carries the rest. Let your words be few. Ecclesiastes 5:2. You are disqualified from speaking. Your authority is qualified to contain. Next, establish house order. Write that phrase, circle it, house order. In a storm, the ship's captain is not the loudest. He is the clearest. Issue simple. Dignified instructions to your spouse, children, staff, elders, assistants through authority, not through your flare of emotion. The order is silence, dignity, no posts, no DMs, no subtweets, no cryptic scriptures, no heart emojis under rumors. No, we're praying for those who don't know the full story. That is gasoline. Where no wood is, there the fire goes out. Proverbs 26-20. Remove the wood. Tell your spouse, you are covered. You do not need to answer anyone. All communication routes to the authorities' office. Tell your children you are not responsible to defend us. You are permitted to ignore, block, and forward everything to the overseer. Tell your staff and elders you are under a silence protocol. Breach is a withdrawal from the account that will cost people their healing. Make it easy. Provide the exact sentence they can use if pressed. I'm not at liberty to speak. Please direct all questions to the overseeing authority. That sentence is a deposit. Every other sentence is a drain. Now, digital lockdown. Write it down and do it without delay. Suspend every scheduled post across every platform. Your Motivation Monday does not belong in a Crisis Tuesday. Disable comments where possible, not because you fear critique, but because you are protecting fragile hearts from a public brawl on your page. Archive vanity posts that provoke debate, selfies in pulpits, flexes of access, triumphal sound bites. Remove temptations that ding your phone and inflame your pride. Change all social media passwords and hand them to authority. Enable two-factor authentication to an email they control. Turn off story replies, close DMs, or route them to an auto response that says, this account will not respond. Please direct all inquiries to authority contact. Cancel preloaded email newsletters and drip campaigns. Freeze your content calendar. If you have a podcast queued, pause it. If you have ads running, stop them. Why? Because trust is the currency, and your digital real estate is a vault. Right now, it must be closed for audit. Study to be quiet and to do your own business. 1 Thessalonians 4:11, quiet is your business this week. Rumor management is next. Hear the word management and think routing. Do not chase rumors. Starve them of oxygen by giving them no mouth to feed on. All inquiries, media, members, donors, friends, enemies, go to one address, the authority. Post it publicly once from the authority's channel. Pin it. No comment at this time is not a dodge. It is a deposit. Read that for me. Go. No comment at this time is a deposit. It signals process, not panic. Governance, not ghosting. Your cousin's Facebook thread is not your courtroom. Your staff member's group chat is not your venue. Your assistant's tears are not permission to text. Every unauthorized reply, even well-intended, is a withdrawal that invites 10 more withdrawals. In the multitude of words, there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. Proverbs 10:19. Choose wisdom. Refrain. Let me give you a scene that will save a family. A leader's teenage daughter, 16, sees a cruel comment under a news link. Your father is a fraud. Her fingers burn to answer. She types, you don't know him. Stop. House order says, screenshot, forward to authority, block, delete. She breathes. The comment thread withers. Imagine the other path. She posts a paragraph. 10 strangers reply. Screenshots spread. By dusk, the child is in tears. The mother is raging. The father is tempted to break silence to protect his girl. One sentence ignited a city. He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Proverbs 25-28. Guard the walls. Put rule over the spirit of the house. You do that with a silence protocol. Extend the shield to your partners, board members, volunteers, vendors, fellow pastors. Send them from the authority a brief covering letter. You may receive inquiries. Please do not respond. All communications will be handled here. Include and frequently ask questions with only 2 answers. We are in process. Please refer to contact. And we will provide updates at appropriate times. Do not deputize anyone as a spokesperson. Do not create a truth team. That is a gossip militia. Instead, create a single gate with a single guard. By wise counsel, wage your war. Proverbs 24-6. War is won by supply lines, not by soldiers running in every direction. Some of you will protest, but silence allows lies to grow. No. Silence under authority allows truth to grow strong roots. Lies grow in noise. Every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof. Matthew 12:36. Idle words are interest charges on a debt you already owe. Pay nothing extra. Let the authority gather facts. care for the wounded, and speak at the right time. Your job is to make sure no one you love becomes collateral damage because you could not endure being misunderstood for a moment. Finally, pastor your own soul with this. Your family's dignity is more valuable than your public image. Protect the account by protecting them. If you must say anything in your home, say scripture and say sorry. I have sinned. We will submit. We will be quiet. Pray Psalm 140 over your house. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Keep the doors of my lips. Place the phone in a drawer at 8 p.m. Make the dinner table a rumor-free zone. Command the morning with one line. We will not speak without covering. Then obey. Trust is the currency of leadership. Right now, your silence is the shield that keeps that currency from being looted by crossfire. Hold the line. Let authority speak. You be still. Hour 48 to 60 is quarantine. Write this down. You cannot heal in the habitat that hurt you. Change the ecosystem to change the outcome. Read this one for me. Go. Change the map, change the outcome. Your body has muscle memory. Your car knows the turns. Your phone knows the pings. Sin has grooves. If you keep the same people, the same places, and the same patterns, you will play the same song. Make no provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Romans 13:14. Provision means planning. Cancel the plans that feed the appetite. Start with environment. Change your map now. Different hotels, different routes, different rooms. If travel is permitted at all under authority, you do not choose convenience, you choose safety. No late night check-ins, no hotel bars. Ask the hotel to remove the minibar. Same gender chaperone in the adjoining room assigned by authority, not by you. Doors propped open during meetings, windows in office doors. Public spaces for counseling. If a city is a trigger, you do not transit through it. If a route is a trigger, you do not drive it. If a cafe is a trigger, you do not sip there again. Flee youthful lust. 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee is not prayer. Flee is feet. Change your feet. Now devices. Write this down. Your phone is a portal. Close it or it will close your future. Hand every device to authority. Phones, tablets, laptops, and allow monitored software to be installed that reports browsing, apps, and messaging activity to your overseers. Disable private browsers. Remove encrypted messaging apps. Turn off disappearing messages. Kill secret email accounts. New phone number routed through authority. Set a whitelist. Only approved contacts can reach you. Night mode becomes lock mode. Devices docked in a public place at 9 p.m. Screens facing the room. Chargers owned by the overseer. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. Psalm 101:3. Stop saying trust me. Show them a dashboard. Protect the account. People next. Write this in bold on your soul. Quarantine is mercy. For a set period defined by authority, you will not meet alone with anyone you could be tempted by or could be accused by. That includes innocent lunches, car rides after service, late night strategy sessions, and counseling in crises. Two-person rule everywhere, always. Opposite sex interactions only in glass rooms, group settings, or with a chaperone appointed by authority. No pastoral counseling alone. Refer to trained counselors. Avoid every appearance of evil. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. You are not proving your innocence, you are protecting the account. He that walks with wise men shall be wise. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with wise guards. Now, finance. Hear me like a regulator knocking at your vault. Authorize an independent audit under board control, not your bookkeeper, not your cousin. An external, credible firm with full access to accounts, cards, reimbursements, petty cash, donor designations, travel expenses, honoraria, housing allowances, everything. Sign the releases, provide the passwords, sit quietly while they trace the money. Write this down. Trust is the currency of leadership and audit is the security system. If you misuse a cent, we will find it and make restitution with interest if necessary. If you touch designated funds, we will disclose it to donors through authority. If personal spending bled onto ministry cards, you will repay. Freeze all discretionary spending. No new initiatives. No emergency generosity to buy goodwill. When you create a law, you identify a value. The law now is no unapproved spending. The value is protect the account. Counseling and care. Read this with me. Go start a recovery plan, not a PR plan. In these 12 hours, you make appointments, plural. One clinical evaluation with a licensed professional who specializes in addiction, trauma, or compulsive behaviors as applicable. One pastoral care meeting with your overseeing authority to set a spiritual regimen, scripture readings, prayer schedule, fasting under direction, confession rhythms. If a marital covenant is affected, schedule a couple's intake with a qualified therapist. If there are victims, your authority will coordinate trauma-informed care for them, paid for by you, not negotiated by you. Baseline assessments today, not when it slows down. Tests where appropriate sobriety screens, digital hygiene checks. Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that you may be healed. James 5:16. Healing is not vibes. It is a plan with appointments, professionals, and accountability. Access boundaries. Travel restrictions go into effect. If authority says no travel for 90 days, the answer is yes, sir. If they say local only, the answer is yes, ma'am. You don't fly alone. You don't drive alone at night. You don't stay past curfew. Your calendar is shared live with authority. Daily check-ins are non-negotiable. A morning briefing of your plan for the day. An evening debrief that includes your locations, your meetings, and your temptations. Read this one for me. Go. Report before you regret. If a meeting changes, you notify your overseer before it happens. If you feel a pull, you text a code word and your chaperone comes. You build escape routes into your day like fire stairs. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. Matthew 26:41. Watching is scheduling. Praying is submitting. Some of you are already bargaining, but I can handle that cafe now. No, you cannot. But my DMs are ministry opportunities. Not this month, but donors need FaceTime. Donors need an audit. Write this down. You are disqualified from self-governance in this season. Authority governs you for your good. This is not punishment, it is protection. In the Bahamas, when a hurricane comes, we board up windows, we move inland, we shut the shutters. No one calls that fear, we call it wisdom. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. Proverbs 22:3. Hide yourself in boundaries. Let me paint you two maps. Eli kept his roots. Same gym, same hotel, same phone. He promised big tears on Sunday and took the red eye on Monday. Within 2 weeks, he bumped into an old pattern. The account, already fragile, collapsed under the weight of a repeated withdrawal. Maya, by contrast, obeyed like her life depended on it. New number only 3 people had. Travel halted for 90 days. A chaperone met her in lobbies. Devices reported daily. Independent auditors issued a clean report on restricted funds where she had blurred lines. She repaid and published a restitution through authority. Her therapist set a 12-week plan. Her bishop set a 12-month plan. 6 months later, no new headlines. Pain? Yes. Shame? Burned by light, not fed by darkness. The account stabilized. Come out from among them and be separate, 2 Corinthians 6:17. Separation is not isolation. It is intelligent distance. Stop asking, is this necessary? Start saying, it is wise. Every safeguard is a deposit. Every convenience you keep is a crack in the safe. Read this one for me. Go. Change the ecosystem to change the outcome. Do it now. Book the new rooms. Reroute the flights. Install the software. Sign the audit engagement letter. Put counseling on the calendar. Appoint the chaperone. Share the calendar. Lock the phone. Receive the curfew. Protect the account. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Grace in this hour looks like shutters on your windows and a new map in your hands. Obey. Our 60 to 72 is representation. The guard is at the gate. Now, you will not speak for yourself. You will not audition for sympathy. You will not negotiate the optics. Write this down. Your authority must become your voice. Your obedience must become your defense. Read it with me. Go. Your authority must become your voice. Your obedience must become your defense. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. A stranger and not your own lips. Proverbs 27:2. In this hour, even commendation is borrowed. Every syllable you would have spoken must pass through a mouth that is not yours. Public posture now, accept consequences. Stand still under them. No bargaining for titles. No emeritus. No founder. No special advisor. No visionary in residence. Those are decorations on a burned building. Remove your name from the program, the letterhead, the bio, the website at your authority's pace, not yours. Do not ask for a temporary label to soothe your ego. You are disqualified from platform until an authority who fears God and fears no man says otherwise. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5-6. Due time is not your calendar. Write this down. Timing belongs to authority. Obedience belongs to you. If an update must be given to the community, hear me, it is not given by you. You may not attend. If they instruct you to be present and silent, you will be present and silent. If they instruct you to stay home, you will stay home. You will not hover in the lobby to collect pity. You will not receive ovations. If someone claps for your apology, you will not wave. You will lower your head and let authority direct the room. You are not the point. The process is the point. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Lamentations 3:26. Quietly wait. Protect the account. Now, restitution begins under counsel. Read this one for me. Go. Repentance without restitution is sentiment, not repair. Zacchaeus said, if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. Luke 19:8. God gave law for this. He shall confess and make restitution and add a fifth thereto. Numbers 5-7. Write it down. Amends must be specific, supervised, and sufficient. Specific names, sums, actions. Supervised authority sets sequence and safety. Sufficient more than words, it costs you. Who is in your restitution map? People harm spouse and children first, then victims, then staff deceived, then donors misled, then partners affected. Money misused, corporate cards, personally spent, travel disguised, honoraria pocketed, gifts accepted in conflict. Vows, broken marriage vows, ordination vows, codes of conduct, employment, covenants. Under authority, prepare a list and a plan, not a heroic DIY stunt. Authority will decide how and when apologies are delivered, what they say, and by whom. Some will be face to face with witnesses. Some will be written. Some will not be yours to deliver at all because proximity would re-injure. Do not force your presence into anyone's healing. Authority may require financial repayment immediate where possible, scheduled where necessary. You will downsize lifestyle to fund restitution. Sell the car, cancel the lease, liquidate the toy, cut the subscription. Render therefore to all their due. Romans 13:7. If there are legal implications, you will cooperate with counsel and accept lawful consequences. This is not martyrdom. This is stewardship of what remains of the account. Every honest payment is a deposit. Every dodged dollar is a withdrawal. Vows must be addressed before microphones. Your marriage vow, under authority, you will enter counseling, non-negotiable, and you will submit to its frequency and findings. Your ordination vow, you will sit with elders who laid hands on you and let them examine you. If they remove the hands, you will not resist. Better an empty title than a stained one. Your employment or board covenants, you will sign what is required to separate cleanly, to protect the organization, and to ensure continuity of mission without you. Write this down. Stop using the term trust me. Start using the phrase I will obey. Let your yes be yes. Matthew 5:37. To obey is better than sacrifice. 1 Samuel 15:22. Obedience now is your sacrifice. Now schedule your reviews. Notice I did not say your comeback. Reviews. 30, 60, 90 days and beyond if required. These are not vibes checks. These are audits. Your authority, not your feelings, will set the dates, the criteria, and the next steps. The grid will include measurable obedience, counseling, attendance, restitution, progress, compliance with no contact, sobriety or recovery markers if addiction was involved, digital boundaries kept, spiritual disciplines practiced without performance. They will ask others, not you, how you are affecting the circle around you. No one cares if you feel better. We care if the people you hurt feel safer. Write this down. Test over time equals trust. Not testimony over time, test over time. If you fail a review, you reset the clock. You do not appeal to tears. You do not rush to share what God is doing on a stage. The only stage you have is a chair across from your overseer. Your authority will also determine if and when any public update is released. It will be spare, it will be factual. It may sound like this: she remains under authority, restitution has begun, counseling continues, we will review again at 90 days. That's all. You will not repost. You will not add heartfelt reflections. You will not curate a documentary of your grief. Grief is holy. Do not merchandise it. In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. Proverbs 10:19. Choose wisdom, refrain, protect the account. Let me pass to you with a final triad for this window. Write it down. Accept, amend, abide. Accept the consequences without bargaining. Amend your wrongs under authority. Abide by the reviews without timelines of your own. Read that for me. Go accept, amend, abide. If you do this, you will discover that silence can speak louder than slogans, that repayment can preach louder than rhetoric, and that steady obedience can defend you better than a press tour. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is not purchased with hashtags. It is rebuilt with time, tests, and truth. So for these 12 hours, do not chase applause, pursue alignment. Stand behind your authority and let them talk. Bow your will, open your books, close your mouth, start to pay what you owe, and show up to every review with your pen ready to write and your heart ready to obey. Timing belongs to authority. Obedience belongs to you. Your authority must become your voice. Your obedience must become your defense. Protect the account. Now we come to your mouth, the smallest member with the largest capacity to bankrupt the vault. Write this down. In crisis, your words either build scaffolding or swing a wrecking ball. Choose silence under authority. Read that for me. Go. Proverbs says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. In the first 72 hours, your tongue can spend what your repentance is trying to save. So I'm going to give you 7 sentences that empty the account. Never say them. Take a deep breath. Get your pen ready. Protect the account. Number 1, I can explain. Explanations are withdrawals. Repentance is a deposit. When you say I can explain, you are negotiating, not confessing. You are managing optics, not mending trust. He that covers his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesses and forsakes them shall have mercy. Proverbs 28:13. Write this down. Explanations are a form of covering. Repentance is uncovering under authority. Your only words are these: I was wrong. I have sinned. I am under authority. Full stop. No context, no backstory, no what had happened was. Your story is not a scaffold. Your silence can be. Protect the account. Number 2, people are out to get me. That persecution narrative is a helium balloon for your ego and a pin for the trust account. It inflates you and it pops credibility. When Saul fell, he blamed enemies and pursued David. When David fell, he said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. 2 Samuel 12:13. Which king do you want to be? Write it down. Self-pity is pride wearing a prayer shawl. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. 1 Peter 5:5. If they are enemies, let God and your authority handle them. Your assignment is obedience, not conspiracy mapping. Every time you suggest there's a they, you imply you're a victim. You are not the victim in your scandal. You are the perpetrator in need of governance. Protect the account. Number 3, trust me. Stop using the term trust me. Ban it from your vocabulary. Trust is not demanded. It is earned, measured, audited. Write this down. Test over time equals trust. Not testimony, not tears, not trending, not talent tests. If you must speak, say, inspect me, audit me, oversee me. Let people see your calendar, your counselor's plan, your restitution receipts, your accountability reports through authority, not through your curated feed. Let your yes be yes, Matthew 5:37. Your yes to oversight is a deposit. Your trust me is an overdraft. Number 4, it wasn't illegal. Legality is the floor of behavior. Character is the ceiling of leadership. Write this down. Compliance is not holiness. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. 1 Corinthians 6:12. Law identifies values, but character internalizes them. Conscience is law whispered. Law is law shouted. If you have to hide behind a statue, you already left the sanctuary of integrity. You are not just a citizen, you are a steward of a holy trust. Abstain from all appearance of evil. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. The account of trust is not governed by courtrooms. It is governed by consciences, yours and the community's. Stop arguing the technicalities. Start admitting the truth. Protect the account. Number 5, I'm still anointed. Gifting without character terrifies wise people. Saul prophesied while disqualified. Samson shook himself, but he did not know that the Lord had departed from him. Judges 16:20. Romans says the gifts and calling of God are without repentance. Romans 11:29. And immature leaders use that as a license to perform while they bleed. Write this down. God can fire you and people think you are still hired. Anointing can function on a person God no longer trusts with his people. When you say, I'm still anointed, you are telling the wounded that your stage is more important than their safety. Replace it with, I will sit. I will be silent. I will not touch a microphone until authority who fears God and fears no man says otherwise. Protect the account. Number 6, my spouse forgave me, so it's over. Thank God for forgiveness, but forgiveness is not the restoration of trust. Forgiveness is personal. Restoration is communal and procedural. Your spouse is not the board. Your spouse is not the victims. Your spouse is not the donors, the staff, the partners, the children, the community. Confess your faults one to another and pray one for another that you may be healed. James 5:16. Healing is communal. Write this down. Private mercy does not erase public stewardship. Do not parade your spouse's grace as a shield to rush your return. That is weaponizing love to avoid governance. Say instead, we have received forgiveness in our home. Now we will submit to the process in our house and in God's house. Protect the account. Number 7, everyone does it. Normalize sin, vaporize trust. That sentence attempts to dilute guilt by adding company. You shall not follow a multitude to do evil. Exodus 23:2. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. Matthew 7:13. Leaders are standard bearers, not trend readers. Write it down. Culture is not your compass, character is. Even if your industry winks, heaven does not. Even if your peers indulge, your people expect holiness. When you tell them everyone does it, what they hear is, I am average. Average leaders don't survive scandals. Holy ones do through obedience. Protect the account. Let me give you the replacement script. Simple enough to memorize, strong enough to save your future. Write it down and circle it. I was wrong. I have sinned. I am under authority. I will do whatever my authority decides. Read that for me. Go. That sentence is scaffolding. Everything else is a wrecking ball. If a reporter shoves a mic in your face, please direct all questions to the overseeing authority. If a member corners you in a grocery aisle, I am under authority. If a donor says, I need to hear your side, I will do whatever my authority decides. If your feelings demand, explain. You tell your feelings. Submit. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Psalm 141:3. That prayer is a deposit. You are disqualified from self-representation in this hour. Run for cover. Shut your mouth. Let another speak. Let the authority carry the words while you carry the weight of obedience. Every I can explain spends credibility. Every they're out to get me burns goodwill. Every trust me insults the very people who must test you. Every it wasn't illegal lowers the ceiling of your calling. Every I'm still anointed waves a gift over a wound. Every my spouse forgave me skips the line of stewardship. Everyone does it makes you common in a crisis that demands consecration. Write this down. Silence, submission, and supervised speech are your only safe sentences. Choose them. Protect the account. Beyond 72 hours, hear me well, the road is long and the road is supervised. Write this down. Restoration is not a weekend. It is a supervised pilgrimage measured by time, test, and truth. Read it back to me. Go time, test, and truth. If you try to shortcut any one of those, you are not returning. You are reoffending with better language. You are disqualified from managing your own timeline. Authority now holds your calendar, your criteria, and your communication. Why? Because trust is the currency of leadership, and the market does not reopen because you posted a scripture. It reopens because deposits accumulate under watch. Let me give you horizons so you don't lose your mind. Weeks are for triage. Months are for repair. Years are for trust. Write it down. Weeks, stabilize the bleeding, secure the perimeter, obey the silence, begin restitution, submit to counsel, and install guardrails you can actually keep. Months, repair relationships through supervised amends, rebuild rhythms, submit to audits, complete initial treatment plans, demonstrate consistency under boredom and pressure. Years, walk in obscurity with integrity, regain a good name measured by other people's peace, not your platform size. Let patience have her perfect work. James 1-4. Patience is not passive. It is disciplined repetition in the right direction under authority. Now the tests return. Do not groan. Rejoice because testing is your friend. We will retest the triad appetites, fame, power. Read that for me. Go appetites, fame, power. Appetites first, food, drink, sex. Your plan will include fasting under direction, not to impress God, but to teach your body who is in charge. If substances were involved, you will submit to random screens without advance notice, saliva, urine, hair, whatever keeps you honest. If sexual sin was involved, you will live within strict relational boundaries for as long as authority decides no gray area friendships, no private DMs, no late night ministry. Stop saying trust me, start saying test me. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. Psalm 101:2-3. We are not interested in your poetry. We want to see your eyes under guard. Fame next attention. This one is sneaky because you can baptize it with Bible verses. You will abstain from stages, microphones, and applause until your authority releases you, and even then you will return in measures, not in floods. You will learn to worship in the back row with no camera on you. You will not post cryptic captions fishing for sympathy. You will not market your pain. If you write anything, it is a private journal submitted to your overseer, not a memoir to sell a narrative. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. Proverbs 27:2. Allow obscurity to detox your soul from the drug of reaction. Powerless control. This one loves to hide behind competence. You will relinquish decision rights you used to hoard. No hiring, no firing, no spending, no signing, no counseling alone. Your calendar is shared. Your car keys may be restricted. Your travel will be verified before and after. You will practice saying, as my authority directs, until your tongue believes it. Read this down your spine. You cannot bring yourself back. The authority has to bring you back. Remember Saul clinging to a throne God already vacated. God can fire you and people think you are still hired. Fear that. Let it keep you sane. Protect the account. We are going to measure progress with evidence, not vibes. Write this down. Community metrics, not self-reports. Spouse safety. Is your spouse sleeping through the night? Do they have their own counselor and full access to your devices, locations, and spending? Their report counts more than your testimony. Staff confidence. Do your team members feel safe, not coerced? Anonymous surveys administered by authority, not by your assistant. Audited finances, external firm, quarterly spot checks for a season with written letters to donors for any restitution owed. Council reports, treatment adherence, attendance, and observed growth shared with authority within legal and ethical boundaries. Pastoral oversight, elders who fear God, not your fans, writing minutes after each review. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Fruit can be weighed. Fruit can be counted. Protect the account. Role recalibration is not optional. Hear this like law. Restoration may not equal return to your previous role. Read it for me. Go, restoration may not equal return. You may be restored to fellowship, but not to oversight. Restored to community, but not to command. Authority will define your scope, if any, and your timeline, if ever. If they choose to place you in a non-teaching, non-governing role indefinitely, you will thank them and serve with joy. If they determine you should never again hold the office you held, you will not litigate your calling against the conscience of the community you wounded. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5-6. Due time belongs to God. Discretion belongs to authority. Obedience belongs to you. Let me give you a calendar you can live by. Weeks 1-12, you are under quarantine protocols. Counseling begins. Audits in motion. Restitution map executed. Weekly check-ins with authority. Written updates from counselors. 0-stage exposure. 1-4-6, if reviews are passed, you may begin serving quietly. Parking lot, setup team, visitation, under supervision, no titles, no special. Month 7-12, if and only if compliance is spotless and those harmed attest to felt safety, limited teaching in closed settings may be tested at authority's discretion with immediate feedback loops and pull back authority at the first red flag. Year 2-3, consideration, not assumption, of broader responsibilities if the account shows consistent deposits and no secret withdrawals. If not, celebrate a holy no. Your worth is not your office. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. Proverbs 16-8. Better a quiet pew with clean hands than a large platform with a leaking soul. Law values, morals, conscience. You broke law, therefore you betrayed values, therefore your morals were compromised, therefore your conscience malfunctioned. The path back reverses the flow. Write this down. Reestablish law to reset values, practice values to restore morals, suffer tests to recalibrate conscience. That is why authority sets rules you must not negotiate. That is why repetition matters more than revelation. In this season, you don't need a new sermon. You need new Saturdays done faithfully for 2 years. Some of you would ask, what about David? He returned. Yes, and he lived with consequences. The sword did not depart from his house. He wrote Psalm 51. with a broken back and a bent knee. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways. Notice the order. Restore me, then I will teach. Peter, he denied, then wept bitterly, then waited. Jesus restored him by a fire with 3 questions and then said, when you were young, you dressed yourself. When you are old, another will dress you. John 21. That's submission. That's authority. Choosing your belt and your route. Paul said, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. Galatians 6:1. Restore is a medical word. Set the bone, cast it. Don't let the patient run before it's knitted, or you will re-break worse than before. Let me warn you and free you with one sentence. Forgiveness is immediate, but the restoration of trust is scheduled. Write it down. God forgives when we repent. People heal as we repay, rebuild, and repeat obedience over time. Stop using the term trust me. Replace it with test me, and time will tell. We do not hate you. We love the people you lead. We love you best by insisting that your comeback be credible, not cosmetic. Protect the account. Finally, hope holy, humble hope. Read this one for me. Go. There is life after the fall if you submit to the process. If you resist, you will multiply your pain. If you submit, you will harvest peace. Your children can grow up in a house where dad or mom sinned and then obeyed. Where the Bible was not a prop, but a plumb line. Where apologies were not performances, but payments. Your staff can learn that systems are stronger than personalities. Your church can learn that Jesus is the head, the authority is the bones, and leaders are servants who can sit down when told. A good name is better than precious ointment. Ecclesiastes 7:1. You can rebuild a name, not by speeches, by schedules, not by charisma, by conscience, calibrated to law, not by charm, by character under test. So walk one quiet day at a time. Show up to the reviews. Pay what you owe. Keep the shutters on. Refuse the stage. Embrace the broom. Let others talk about you. You talk to your overseer and to your God. When the appetite stirs, flee. When the fame whispers, hide. When the power aches, submit. Weeks for triage. Months for repair. Years for trust. Time, test, truth. Protect the account. And when if authority in due time calls your name, you will step not as a star returning to lights, but as a servant restored to service, holding a mended vessel. That is credible restoration. That is life after the fall. Healthy systems protect the trust account. When an individual fails, design them before you need them. Write that down. Read it for me. Go. Healthy systems protect the trust account. If you build this after a scandal, you are boarding your windows in the eye of the hurricane. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order is love organized. Policy is love in writing. Systems are love with a calendar and a chain of command. Protect the account. Start with a chain of command. Write this down. Pre-appoint external overseers, legal counsel, and a single communications lead. Not when you like each other now. Not when the sun is shining now. The overseers must fear God and fear no man, with authority to remove, restrict, and represent leadership without bargaining. Legal counsel must be independent of the accused, retained by the organization, not by personalities. Communications lead must be empowered to be the one mouth, period. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Safety is not an accident. It is an appointment. Build a red binder, digital and physical, with phone numbers, templates, escalation maps, and a 7-2-hour checklist. Who calls whom in the first 15 minutes? Write it down. One call to the external overseer, one call to legal, one call to the communications lead. Everyone else, silence. One voice protects the account. Immediate actions. This is where many institutions hemorrhage trust in the first hour. Read this one for me. Go. Suspend access, secure data, notify the right people, swipe access turned off. Keys collected. Corporate cards frozen. Email locked and mirrored for legal preservation. Cloud folders, permissions revoked, and logs captured. Devices surrendered if company owned. IT places a litigation hold. HR initiates leave protocols. Do not destroy, alter, or clean up anything. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Romans 12:17. Honesty leaves footprints. Change the locks if necessary. Reassign direct reports immediately to a safe manager. Notify insurers as applicable D&O, EPLI, pastoral liability, cyber within the time windows they require. If the allegation triggers mandated reporting minors, abuse, assault, you pick up the phone to authorities within the law's time frame. Do not pray about obeying the law. Obey the law and pray while you obey. Transparency protects. Silence under authority outside. Full documentation under counsel inside. Protect the account. Money integrity next. Write this like an auditor on your soul. Freeze discretionary spending and initiate a third-party audit. Not your cousin, not your in-house bookkeeper. An external, credible firm appointed by the board, given full access to bank accounts, credit cards, reimbursements, restricted funds, payroll, housing allowances, gifts in kind. 2 signatures on every disbursement. No new vendors added without board, finance, chair, approval. Expense reimbursements paused and then reopened with documentation, standards raised. Conflict of interest statements renewed, everyone immediately. If unrestricted reserves are used for crisis response, the board minutes must say so, with a plan to replenish. Donors and shareholders are not mushrooms. Do not keep them in the dark. Under counsel and at the right time, communicate. We have engaged in independent audit. We have frozen discretionary spending. We will publish a summary of findings through our overseeing authority. He that walks uprightly walks surely. Proverbs 10:9. Audit is the security system of the trust account. Protect the account. Member care, listen to the shepherd in me now. The flock is not PR collateral. Victims are not obstacles to optics. They are the priority of heaven. Feed my sheep, John 21:17. Woe to the shepherds who feed themselves. Write this down. Trauma-informed responses for victims and staff. Appoint a safeguarding officer trained, empowered, and external to the accused sphere. Provide confidential reporting channels, a hotline managed by a third party. Pay for counseling for victims without strings. Do not force joint meetings. Do not parade forgiveness on a stage. No stand and clap if you forgive. That is spiritual manipulation. Create safety plans, security presence where needed, no contact orders enforced, seating and access accommodations for those harmed. Staff care, immediate debriefs with professionals, option to take paid leave, workload redistribution so no one drowns while the ship is being patched. Sunday services, make room for lament and truth. With the accused absent and authority present, weep with those who weep. Romans 12:15. Compassion is a deposit. Protect the account. Communication protocol, write it down. One message, one messenger, one map, one message, factual, humble, process-oriented. One messenger. The pre-identified communications lead or overseeing authority. One map. What we know, what we have done, what we will do next, and when we will update again. Staff are given scripts with approved replies. Please direct all questions to the overseeing authority. No freelancing on social media. Disable comments on official posts if necessary to protect the vulnerable. Leaders, stop posting cryptic verses as subtweets. In the multitude of words, there wanted not sin, but he that refrains his lips is wise. Proverbs 10:19. Wise organizations refrain, protect the account. Governors boards, hear me as if I am reading your minutes back to you. Write this down. Independence, recusal, documentation. The board chair is not the CEO's best friend during a scandal. The chair is the steward of the flock's future. Meet without the executive present. Recuse anyone whose objectivity is compromised. Family members, business partners, spiritual sons and daughters. Retain independent counsel for the board. Keep contemporaneous minutes with clear votes, motions, and timelines. Establish a special committee to oversee the investigation. Small, qualified, accountable to the whole board. No side deals. No backroom restorations. You do not restore anyone. Authority beyond you must decide readiness. Your task is to protect the mission and the community. To whom much is given, much will be required. Luke 12:48. The requirement is courage and clarity. Protect the account. Education and culture prevention is cheaper than crisis. Write this down and underline it. Train teams to stop saying, trust me, and start practicing deposits daily. Deposits look like dual controls, written approvals, documented counseling protocols, two-person rules for meetings, travel policies with chaperones, a gift acceptance policy with limits, boundaries on DM responses, background checks renewed on schedule, and annual conflict of interest disclosures. Teach law, values, morals, conscience. When you create a law, you identify a value, codify values and policies, rehearse them in drills, run tabletop exercises twice a year, simulate an allegation at 10 a.m. on Monday, walk the chain, who calls whom, who freezes what, who speaks, measure time to action. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Plain means practice. Stop promising character, practice containment, protect the account. Churches and companies alike integrate oversight into your calendar, quarterly financial dashboards to the board, semi-annual safeguarding training for all staff and volunteers, annual independent penetration tests on your digital systems, rotating preaching or leadership teams so no one person is indispensable, Sabbaths written into contracts, counseling stipends for staff, whistleblower protections that work. A simple rule taught to every usher and intern. If it feels off, you have authority to say no and to report. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. Proverbs 22:3. Prudence is policy before pain. Let me give you a closing triad for systems. Prepare, protect, provide. Prepare a chain of command and a crisis binder. Protect the account with immediate suspensions, audits, and one-voice communications. Provide care for victims, staff, and the wider community with counseling, safety, and truth. Read that for me. Go prepare, protect, provide. Do it before the wind rises. The wise man builds his house on the rock before the rain descends. Matthew 7:24-25. Boards, staff, congregations, write it down. Stop saying, trust me. Start saying, inspect us. Show your policies. Show your audits. Show your training logs. Show your restitution when required through authority. Healthy systems will carry the weight when a leader drops it. Build them now. Protect the account. Take a deep breath with me. Put your hand on your heart. Quietly say this under your breath. Lord, keep me from me. Humility now prevents humiliation later. Write that down. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, not the end of joy. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Fear is your friend when it keeps you from the edge. Grace is your road when you've gone over it. Both protect the account. Trust is the currency of leadership. Leaders fall, but leaders who fear God, submit to authority, and guard the trust account can rise again. I am going to give you your emergency card. Memorize this triad of crisis rules. Say it with me. Shut your mouth, find authority, protect the account. Now, not later, not when the camera's on. Now, be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Silence under authority is not cowardice, it is containment. Write this down and read this one for me. Go. Timing with authority, truth without spin, obedience without delay. Again, timing with authority, truth without spin, obedience without delay. That is your compass when your emotions are a hurricane. That is the first deposit back into trust. Action steps, because hope without steps is hype. Pre-select your authority. Do not wait for a scandal to decide who can sit you down. Choose men and women who fear God and fear no man. Create a written pre-commitment. If I fail, I submit without condition to this authority's timing, terms, and representation. Sign it. Your spouse signs. Your board receives a copy. Place it in a red binder. Draft a crisis protocol for the first 72 hours. Who calls whom in the first 15 minutes? What is frozen? Who speaks? Who is silent? Put the checklist in your phone, your briefcase, your glove compartment. Teach this to your board, your staff, and your family. Yes, your family. Your son and daughter need to know what to do if dad is on the news. Your spouse needs the number of the overseer in her favorites. Your assistant needs the authority to shut your calendar. Run the drill. Photograph the steps. Practice it until silence feels like muscle memory. Stop using the term trust me. Replace it with 3 phrases. Test me, time will tell, and ask authority. Write those on your desk. Put them on your refrigerator. Train your staff to say, please direct all questions to our overseeing authority. Build humility into your vocabulary before you need it. Whoever conceals his sins does not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them finds mercy. Mercy is found on the path of truth with a chaperone. Your chaperone is authority. Protect the account. I want every leader to settle this in your conscience. You are not entitled to return. You are invited to obey. God can fire you and people think you are still hired. That's why you fear God. That's why you pre-submit. Law shapes values. Values produce morals. Morals calibrate conscience. If you love your future, you will love your law. Write down a house rule for your soul. Never be alone with temptation. Never be alone with accusation. Never be alone with restoration. Bring authority into all 3. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Guard the account at the source, your heart. Let me speak to you as a father now. Some of you feel the edge under your feet. Back away. Fear is your friend when it says, run for cover. Do not flirt with the cliff. Disable the DM. Cancel the trip. Tell your overseer, I am not safe today. I need a boundary now. Others have already gone over the edge. Grace is the road back up the canyon. But grace is not a shortcut. Grace is a stretcher and a slow climb supervised by medics. The medic has a name, authority. Submit to the stretcher. Stop arguing with the straps. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Due time is not your time. It is authority's time under God. Write this final commission in your spirit like a law. Fear God. Guard the account. Submit to the process. Read it back to me. Go fear God. Guard the account. Submit to the process. If you put these 3 on your calendar, you will save 1,000 tears you never need to cry. Teach this to your board next Tuesday. Put it on the agenda. Teach it to your staff in the next all hands role play, the first phone call. Teach it to your family at dinner. Explain what the red binder means and why authority can step into your life. Write the vision and make it plain. Plain means practice. Protect the account. And now, hope with warnings wrapped in love. You will be tested in appetites, fame, and power. When appetite whispers, fast and phone your overseer. When fame waves, sit in the back row and serve without a mic. When power aches, say out loud, as my authority directs, and hand over the keys. If you are ever in that first 6 hours, remember the card, shut your mouth, find authority, protect the account. If you are in the months and years, remember the cadence, timing with authority, truth without spin, obedience without delay. If you never face a scandal because fear and systems kept you, bow your head and thank God humility now prevented humiliation later. Leaders fall, but leaders who fear God, submit to authority, and guard the trust account can rise again. Not as celebrities returning to lights, but as servants returning to towel and basin. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Choose it daily. Choose it under law. Choose it under eyes that are not impressed by you. As for me and my house, we will fear God. We will guard the account. We will submit to the process. May that be your vow tonight. May the peace that comes from ordered steps be your portion. Time, tests, truth, let them be your companions. Protect the account.